The Young and the Restless preview for the week of February 17, 2025 is in. Next week, fans can expect Summer Newman to defend herself. Nate Hastings catches Audra Charles with Holden&Audra plus. Victor Newman announces his next target. Keep reading and let's talk about what's coming up in the CBS soap opera. Summer Newman accused. In the preview clip for the week of February 17, expect Daniel Rumalotti, juror. To call out his sister. Daniel has been able to tell that Phyllis Summers has feelings for Billy Abbott. Next, Daniel will do the same thing with Summer. Daniel accuses Summer of being jealous of Kyle Abbott's romance with Claire Grace Newman. However, Summer will deny it. Summer tells Daniel that he is way off base. Audra Charles' secret. Over with Audra, expect her to continue keeping a big secret from Nate. Fans watched as Holden and Audra pretended not to know each other. Later, Audra confronted Holden at the coffee shop. Audra warned Holden that she's built a nice life in Genoa City and doesn't want her past resurfacing, especially about the nature of their relationship. Then, Audra had to backtrack and thank Holden for helping her back in the day. Holden&Audra leverage. While Damian Kane seems to have a temper, maybe it's Holden that everyone should be concerned about. Holden seems to be Damian's best friend. Plus, Damian doesn't trust anything besides Holden, that includes his own family. What was the real reason behind Damian and Amy Lewis' rift? Could Holden have something to do with it? In any case, Nate busts Audra and Holden having a conversation. When Audra warns Holden that she doesn't want Nate to find out about their history, guess who suddenly interrupts? Of course, Audra and Holden might have a convincing and believable cover story. What exactly is going on here? And does Holden have anything to do with Audra's secret miscarriage and Noah Newman's failed relationship? Victor Newman's next target. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that the preview clip also shows Victor talking to Michael Baldwin. Victor says that with Jordan and Ian Ward dead, it's time to implement the next stage of the plan. With that, Michael asks which plan Victor is referring to. That is when the Newman patriarch says to go after Jack Abbott via Jabot. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers preview video for the week of February 17 to 21 hints that Victor Newman's twisted plan will be revealed. Jack Abbott and Jabot are going down, so let's talk about what's ahead in Genoa City. For starters, Y&R's weekly promo kicks off with Summer Newman protesting when Daniel Rumalotti juror suggests she's jealous. That's certainly something that fans have picked up on as well when it comes to Summer's feelings about Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman's relationship. Summer will play it cool and act like Daniel's way off base, but he'll still get the feeling that she's dealing with some jealousy over Kyle finding love again. Over with Audra Charles, she'll remind Holden&Audra that they have to keep their past under wraps. Audra will insist the last thing she needs after all this is for Nate Hastings to find out she has a history with Holden. That's when Nate will pop up and wonder what's going on. Y&R's weekly preview clip shows Nate catching Audra and Holden together, so they'll probably pretend they've just been getting better acquainted. Next, Victor will sit down with Michael Baldwin and discuss implementing the next phase of his plan now that Ian Ward and Jordan are out of the picture. When Michael asks what plan Victor is referring to, Victor will clarify that he's talking about his scheme to go after Jack via Jabot. Michael may question if Victor really wants to go through with that after all the drama he's already endured. It'd be better for Victor to take it easy and just enjoy his family, especially since he's still recovering from surgery. However, no one knows how to hold a grudge better than Victor, so he'll stand by his decision to seek payback on Jack through his company. Our predictions hint that Nikki Newman will be livid once she gets updates on Victor's upcoming move, so don't miss the fallout of his actions. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Victor will do whatever it takes to get revenge, but Jack still has a few tricks up his sleeve that could lead to bad news for his rival. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, February 17, reveal that Summer Newman will deny jealousy over Claire Newman, while Nate Hastings busts Audra Charles and Holden Novak in a private moment. For starters, Summer will join Daniel Gromalotti Jr. for drinks at Society, so that'll lead to a conversation about Kyle Abbott's romance with Claire. Based on the comments Summer's about to make, Daniel will definitely sense that she's jealous of the new woman in Kyle's life. Although Summer will shut down that idea, Daniel may feel the need to warn his sister about interfering. Perhaps Daniel will urge Summer to learn from Phyllis Summer's many mistakes and avoid doing anything to sabotage Kyle's latest relationship. Daniel may make a prediction about Summer messing up her co-parenting arrangement with Kyle if she oversteps. Scheming usually leads to disastrous news, so Daniel might offer that reminder. Despite Summer's efforts to pretend she's fine with Kyle and Claire's future together, she's obviously dealing with some messy emotions. This storyline will ultimately lead to Summer pursuing a Kyle reunion, so Claire had better watch out for the competition. Other Y&R spoilers say Audra and Holden will reaffirm their pact of silence. Holden has agreed to keep his mouth shut about his history with Audra, since he doesn't want his buried past getting out either. However, Audra and Holden's plan will quickly hit a snag when Nate spots them having a tense discussion. Nate will understandably be curious and feel like he's missing something, so he'll put Holden and Audra through a grilling session. Audra and Holden will have to think fast once Nate joins their conversation at the coffee house. Perhaps Audra will insist she was just getting to know Holden, though she may ultimately point out he's leaving GC with Damian Kane soon enough. Once Nate gets updates on Damian and Holden's next move, he may track Damian down to talk him out of going back to Lay. Nate won't want Amy Lewis to lose this opportunity to reconnect with her son, so he'll continue to advocate for her. Although Damian was ready to leave Genoa City behind, that brief interaction with Lily Winters may help change his mind. It's easy to see that Damian is drawn to Lily, so she may be part of why he wants to stick around. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Holden and Audra will land in a tight spot when Damian reverses his decision, so stay tuned. The Young and the Restless spoilers preview video for the week of February 17 to 21 hints that Victor Newman's twisted plan will be revealed. Jack Abbott and Jabot are going down, so let's talk about what's ahead in Genoa City. For starters, Y&R's weekly promo kicks off with Summer Newman protesting when Daniel Gromalotti Jr. suggests she's jealous. That's certainly something that fans have picked up on as well when it comes to Summer's feelings about Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman's relationship. Summer will play it cool and act like Daniel's way off base, but he'll still get the feeling that she's dealing with some jealousy over Kyle finding love again. Over with Audra Charles, she'll remind Holden Novak that they have to keep their past under wraps. Audra will insist the last thing she needs after all this is for Nate Hastings to find out she has a history with Holden. That's when Nate will pop up and wonder what's going on. Y&R's weekly preview clip shows Nate catching Audra and Holden together, so they'll probably pretend they've just been getting better acquainted. Next, Victor will sit down with Michael Baldwin and discuss implementing the next phase of his plan now that Ian Ward and Jordan are out of the picture. When Michael asks what plan Victor is referring to, Victor will clarify that he's talking about his scheme to go after Jack via Jabot. Michael may question if Victor really wants to go through with that after all the drama he's already endured. It'd be better for Victor to take it easy and just enjoy his family, especially since he's still recovering from surgery. However, no one knows how to hold a grudge better than Victor, so he'll stand by his decision to seek payback on Jack through his company. Our predictions hint that Nikki Newman will be livid once she gets updates on Victor's upcoming move, so don't miss the fallout of his actions. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Victor will do whatever it takes to get revenge, but Jack still has a few tricks up his sleeve that could lead to bad news for his rival. The Young and the Restless scoop for Friday, February 14, reveals Phyllis Summers will fantasize about kissing Billy Abbott. Also coming up, Adam Newman will dream about Chelsea Lawson and Sally Spectra. Plus, Sharon Newman will dream about a romantic Valentine's Day spent with Nick Newman. Y&R spoilers tease Adam will walk into the living room and see candles, roses, and champagne. Chelsea will tell him she can't deny it anymore. She's falling for him all over again. You knew if you were patient, I'd come back to you. Adam will say he cares about her too much to be selfish about this. I have to be sure. So Chelsea will say she knows that he's changed. They'll dance and Adam will say he's dreamed about this. So have I, she'll say. My and our daily scoop. Sally just couldn't stop thinking about Adam. Aren't you afraid I'm going to break your heart again? Adam will ask Chelsea, but she'll say she's not. Plus, she thinks their son would approve. Even if you hurt me, I'll be okay, she'll tell them. He'll move in to kiss her, but someone will call his name. They'll turn and see Sally standing there. She'll tell him she came from halfway around the world to see him. I just had a dream about you and me, Sally will say. I forgave you, Adam, for what you did with Chelsea. Adam will turn around and Chelsea will not be there. Why are you here? He'll ask Sally. She'll say she's there to give him another chance. He'll ask about Billy and Sally will say she was with him in the most romantic city in the world on the most romantic day of the year. But she couldn't stop thinking about him. Sally will start crying and ask him if it's too late. Adam will tell her he had to let her go. He's fallen for Chelsea again and he thinks she's falling for him too. Then Chelsea will wake him up. Adam had fallen asleep on the couch. Chelsea will hand him a bag of jalapeno lime tortilla chips and walk out. In Paris, Billy will ask Phyllis why she's there. I'm here in Paris, with Sally, he'll reply. But Phyllis will say Sally's in Genoa City with Adam. They'll drink some champagne and Phyllis will ask him to dance. As they sway, Billy will ask Phyllis if she'd still want to work with him if she knew he was going after Victor Newman. I know that Daniel wouldn't like it, but after everything he's done to me and to you, I do understand, she'll reply, and I know that revenge is an obsession. Billy will tell her he does plan to go after Victor and ask if she's still in. Young and the Restless scoop. Nick fell back in love with Sharon again. Of course, she'll say yes, I like it, she'll tell him. It's a turn-on actually. As she moves in to share a kiss with Billy, Phyllis will suddenly wake up in bed. Where the hell did that come from? She'll ask herself. At Crimson Lights, Nick will hand Sharon a rose. You have told me so many times that I'm your hero, he'll say. But you're my hero too. Then he'll tell her he loves her. I always have and I always will. Nick will add that he needs her in his life. Sharon will say she needs him too. They'll dance and Nick will ask what their next move is. Would you like to move back to the ranch? She'll ask. Nick will say he'd love it. Let's do it. Sharon will tell him she thought they'd both moved on. But Nick will say he knew they'd always find their way back to each other. Then he'll kiss her. Nick will say he's so happy he fell back in love with her again. He'll hold out his hand. Sharon Newman, can I have this dance? One that lasts for the rest of our lives. He'll ask, and Sharon will say he sure can. But then he'll disappear. Nick, where did you go? Sharon will say. Have I lost you again? Finally, Sharon will hear Nick's voice, telling her to wake up. She'd fallen asleep on a table. Nick will say he heard her talking in her sleep about him. I want to let you know, in reality or dreamland, you can always count on me, he'll tell Sharon. The Young and the Restless spoilers recap for Friday, February 14, reveals that Phyllis Summers will surprise Billy Abbott in Paris, while Adam Newman rejects Sally Spectra after a Chelsea Lawson reunion. At home, Adam will marvel over the romantic candles as Chelsea admits she's done fighting her feelings. Chelsea will feel like Adam's changed because of Connor Newman and will reassure him when he worries he'll hurt her again. Once Adam confirms Chelsea is sure about this, they'll share some glasses of bubbly and dance together. However, Adam will be caught off guard when Sally suddenly arrives looking upset. After Chelsea disappears, Sally will confess that she ditched Billy Abbott in Paris to give Adam a second chance. Although Sally will hope it's not too late, Adam will gently reject her and apologize now that he's given his heart to Chelsea again. Adam will eventually wake up on the sofa and realize everything that happened was a dream. Chelsea will admit she forgot all about Valentine's Day and will hand over some replacement chips since she ate Adam's bag earlier. In Paris, Phyllis will make a surprise appearance and annoy Billy by eating the chocolates meant for Sally at the apartment. After Phyllis delivers the news that Sally went back to Genoa City, she'll work to convince Billy that no one should be alone on Valentine's Day. Phyllis will talk about all Billy's other love interests, making him lose focus except for her. After Phyllis convinces Billy to dance, she'll get him to admit he still wants to go after Victor Newman for revenge. Phyllis will still be on board with working together and will insist Billy just needs to share the plan so she can do her part. Once Phyllis hints that Billy's revenge obsession is a turn-on, she'll nearly kiss him before waking up in bed. Phyllis will seem rattled over her dream as she asks herself where that came from. At Crimson Lights on Friday's I&R episode, Sharon Newman will find that Nick Newman has set a romantic scene for her. Nick will give Sharon a rose and ultimately confess that he loves her, always has, and always will. Sharon will admit she wasn't expecting this, but she'll feel the same way and will ask Nick to move back to the ranch with Christian Newman so they can be a family. Nick will like the sound of that, so he'll share some close moments with Sharon as they kiss and dance. When Nick vanishes, Sharon will call out for him and worry she's lost him all over again. Nick will arrive and find Sharon has fallen asleep over some paperwork she was doing in a booth. Once Nick wakes Sharon up, he'll admit she was talking in her sleep and looking for him. Whether it's in real life or dreamland, Nick will want Sharon to know she can count on him, and she'll assure Nick that goes for him too. The Young and the Restless spoilers say this Valentine's Day episode will bring some great fantasies, but will any of them become reality down the road? Our I&R predictions point to some twists and turns in the love department, so stay tuned for updates on what's in store for Sharon, Phyllis, Adam, and more. The Young and the Restless spoilers recap for Friday, February 14, reveals that Phyllis Summers will surprise Billy Abbott in Paris, while Adam Newman rejects Sally Spectra after a Chelsea Lawson reunion. At home, Adam will marvel over the romantic candles as Chelsea admits she's done fighting her feelings. Chelsea will feel like Adam's changed because of Connor Newman and will reassure him when he worries he'll hurt her again. Once Adam confirms Chelsea is sure about this, they'll share some glasses of bubbly and dance together. However, Adam will be caught off guard when Sally suddenly arrives looking upset. After Chelsea disappears, Sally will confess that she ditched Billy Abbott in Paris to give Adam a second chance. Although Sally will hope it's not too late, Adam will gently reject her and apologize now that he's given his heart to Chelsea again. Adam will eventually wake up on the sofa and realize everything that happened was a dream. Chelsea will admit she forgot all about Valentine's Day and will hand over some replacement chips since she ate Adam's bag earlier. In Paris, Phyllis will make a surprise appearance and annoy Billy by eating the chocolates meant for Sally at the apartment. After Phyllis delivers the news that Sally went back to Genoa City, she'll work to convince Billy that no one should be alone on Valentine's Day. Phyllis will talk about all Billy's other love interests, making him lose focus except for her. After Phyllis convinces Billy to dance, she'll get him to admit he still wants to go after Victor Newman for revenge. Phyllis will still be on board with working together and will insist Billy just needs to share the plan so she can do her part. Once Phyllis hints that Billy's revenge obsession is a turn-on, she'll nearly kiss him before waking up in bed. Phyllis will seem rattled over her dream as she asks herself where that came from. At Crimson Lights on Friday's I&R episode, Sharon Newman will find that Nick Newman has set a romantic scene for her. Nick will give Sharon a rose and ultimately confess that he loves her, always has and always will. Sharon will admit she wasn't expecting this, but she'll feel the same way and will ask Nick to move back to the ranch with Christian Newman so they can be a family. Nick will like the sound of that, so he'll share some close moments with Sharon as they kiss and dance. When Nick vanishes, Sharon will call out for him and worry she's lost him all over again. Nick will arrive and find Sharon has fallen asleep over some paperwork she was doing in a booth. Once Nick wakes Sharon up, he'll admit she was talking in her sleep and looking for him. Whether it's in real life or dreamland, Nick will want Sharon to know she can count on him, and she'll assure Nick that goes for him too. The Young and the Restless spoilers say this Valentine's Day episode will bring some great fantasies, but will any of them become reality down the road? Our I&R predictions point to some twists and turns in the love department, so stay tuned for updates on what's in store for Sharon, Phyllis, Adam, and more. The Young and the Restless spoilers tease that on Friday, February 14, the show airs a Valentine-centric epi, and it's must-see TV. In the soap-alicious hour, Phyllis Summers dances with Billy Abbott, Nick Newman spends time with Sharon Newman, and Adam Newman has visions of Sally Spectra. Are you surprised at the above events? Don't be, because as soaps love to do, there are fantasies and dreaming taking place, and not all is as it seems. Genoa City celebrates Valentine's Day. Phyllis has been denying to her son Damiel Romalotti that she has lingering feelings for Billy. That's not what her actions are saying, however, and on Friday Red gives in to some fantasizing. She knows that Billy is wooing Sally in Paris, and she gets in on the action in her mind. Look for Phyllis to dream about her and Billy dancing, and she's enjoying it way too much for someone who claims she's over her ex. Phyllis fantasizes about Billy. Then there's Adam, who is hoping that he and Chelsea Lawson will find their way back to each other and be a happy family again. But his psyche gets in the way when Sally enters his unconscious mind, and he remembers all the mistakes he made with her. They lost a child together, which will never be forgotten, and each made the other one's life miserable for a time. Look for Adam's dream to remind him of all the pain he caused Sally. But Adam eventually moves on from the past and focuses on the present day and the future he hopes to have with Chelsea. Right now, they are living under the same roof in order to provide stability for their son Connor Newman. Will this platonic situation lead to more? Shit get hot and heavy. Elsewhere, Nick and Sharon are seen as they play out a romance in Sharon's mind. She's been through a lot lately and deserves some happiness, but is Nick the one who will provide it? Nick kisses Sharon's and she swoons before reality intrudes and the mood is broken. Will Sharon feel emboldened to act on her feelings? There are some other GC couples celebrated in the Valentine's Day episode, and we predict that some of these dreams could become reality. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, February 14, promise interesting moments in the land of Genoa City. As Friday is Valentine's Day, the soap will unveil a special show as old relationships are revisited and new romances are explored. What's set to unravel during Friday's show? Time to find out. Sharon Newman's chic dream. First off, let's talk about some preview pictures showing Sharon Newman dancing with Nick Newman in the middle of Crimson Lights. While there is a chance these two could be slow dancing in the coffee house for real, there's also a chance this is just a dream on Sharon's part, as fans know she has more than friendly feelings for her ex-husband. It looks like Friday's show will teeter on fantasy and reality, and Sharon won't be the only one daydreaming. Adam Newman's fantasy. Across town, there are some very interesting preview photos for Friday's show where Adam Newman is concerned. In one, he's holding Chelsea Lawson at their new home. Connor Newman isn't around, and this embrace looks far more than a co-parenting hug. There's also another preview photo of Sally Spectra at Adam's Newman Ranch home, almost looking confrontational. As Sally is in Paris with Billy Abbott, it's safe to say that this scene is a fantasy on Adam's part. Phyllis Summers' daydream. Speaking of Billy, he'll be dancing with Phyllis Summers during Friday's show in what is also likely a fantasy. Red clearly wants to reunite with her ex, but as she's in GC and he's in Paris, it'll only be a daydream for her on Valentine's Day. New romances. The soap does hint there will be some new romances to celebrate during Friday's show, so could this suggest that fans will see more of Damian King and Lily Winters interact? Maybe there are more steamy scenes in Paris between Silly. Are you excited about Friday's episode? Join the conversation below. Check out the Y&R on CBS Daily for your fill of Genoa City drama, and visit SOS often for all the best Young and the Restless updates, news, and spoilers. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that 4 weddings could be in the works, but who will actually tie the knot? Some engagements could be coming up, so let's talk about the couples who may start planning their nuptials, and which ones stand a chance of actually making it to the altar. 1. Audra and Nate. Y&R fans know Audra Charles has never been a big believer in marriage, but she caught the bouquet at Abby Winters and Divin Winters' wedding. Now that Audra is falling hard for Nate Hastings, she may accept an engagement ring eventually and become next in line to wed. However, there could be a huge problem since Audra is hiding her past with Holden Novak. Audra's deception could derail her future with Nate once it's exposed, so stay tuned for updates on whether their wedding plans will blow up in smoke. 2. Adam and Chelsea. The last time Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson were a real couple planning their future together, they wanted to remarry. Now that Chelsea and Adam are on the verge of locking in another reunion, it's reasonable to assume they'll have a wedding do-over sooner or later. Will Adam and Chelsea actually get a chance to go through with it this time? Will Chelsea once again become Mrs. Newman and seal the deal on rebuilding her family with Adam and Connor Newman, Judah Mackey? 3. Billy and Sally. It's still early in Billy Abbott and Sally Spectra's romance, but we all know how impulsive he can be. It's easy to imagine Billy proposing prematurely and putting Sally in a tight spot. That's especially true since Billy may face some guilt over keeping Sally in the dark on his vengeful agenda. Phyllis Summers will also be there to tempt Billy, who may feel he has something to prove by popping the question to Sally. There's no guarantee Sally will accept Billy's offer of marriage if it happens too quickly, but Billy may at least try to nudge her into a fast wedding. 4. Claire and Kyle. Since Victor Newman disapproves of Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman's relationship, it would send a major message if he asked her to marry him. At some point, Kyle might propose as a way to show that Victor can't control Claire's love life. It could also be Kyle's way of putting Summer Newman in her place if she steps out of bounds and tries to sabotage his relationship with Claire. That doesn't necessarily mean Claire and Kyle will ever say marriage vows, but we can certainly imagine some engagement news making the Newman-Abbott feud even worse. The Young and the Restless spoilers say some wedding plans could shake up Genoa City in the months ahead, so stick with us for more ring predictions to come. It's the place to be for exciting Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news, and updates, so make us your favorite Y&R hotspot. Beyond the Gates spoilers suggest that fans should brace themselves for an explosive and historic premiere for the new soap, come Monday, February 24, airing on CBS at 2 p.m. ET. In the meantime, the anticipation for the new daytime drama is hitting fever pitch as fans, along with BTG's cast and executive team, continue to create buzz on social media. But how do the other soaps currently on the air feel about some healthy competition headed their way. Soaps.com recently shared a video on their Instagram handle with a variety of interviews from both Young and the Restless and Days of Our Lives stars. From the sounds of it, everyone within the daytime drama industry is on board with the new soap. Scene Dominic was the first to comment within the video, extending his kudos to BTG, with best wishes for the soap to rock out. He also added that he's excited to see the cast, as there may be some familiar faces he knows. In addition, as the Y&R is the sister show of BTG, both airing on CBS, he also teased about possible crossovers. That would be fun, right? Meanwhile, DOL's Stephen Nichols reminds fans in the video that BTG's creator, Michel Valjean, wrote for him at General Hospital during his stint as Stephen Cassadine. Nichols adds that Valjean is a great writer, and he's very excited about the new soap. I&R's Jason Thompson chimes in, stating he believes BTG's debut is fantastic. He goes on to say that he lends his support toward the new show, starting from scratch within the land of daytime drama, an industry some believed was slowly down, but clearly is not, which is incredible. In addition, Thompson's co-star, Lauren Lott, adds her perspective, noting that it feels great to see a Black-centric soap hit daytime and how it reveals the amazing progress made in the world of soaps. Next in the video, Days Colton Little is excited to see BTG's amazingly diverse and beautiful cast at work. He also gives a shout-out to DOL alum Mike Manning, who once played Charlie Dale on Days, but now is set to play Bradley Smitty Smith on BTG. Little adds, the more the merrier when it comes to daytime drama shows, noting the more ways soaps can live on. It's going to be incredible. Little's DOL co-stars, Martha Madison and Brandon Beamer, collectively agree on BTG's great team. Madison acknowledges that the new soap has some of daytime's biggest producers and writers, and she thinks things will go well for them. Lastly, Y&R's Zulika Silvers closes the video by noting that BTG's debut is great, stating as CBS has picked up another daytime drama, soaps aren't going anywhere. Beyond the Gates spoilers imply there's a ton of excitement around the show's groundbreaking premiere, so it'll be interesting to see how fans and the soap industry receive it once it hits the airwaves. Provides the best Beyond the Gates spoilers, news, and predictions as the soap's debut approaches, so keep visiting the site for all the latest updates surrounding the new show. The Young and the Restless preview for the week of February 17 reveals Audra Charles will find herself in a tight spot. Also coming up, Summer Newman will not like Daniel Romalotti's comment. Plus, Victor Newman will decide to reignite his vendetta against Jack Abbott. Y&R spoilers tease Summer will sit down for a drink with her brother at Society. He'll likely tell her he accepted a job working alongside Phyllis Summers and Billy Abbott at Abbott Communications. Y&R preview. Implement the next phase of Victor's revenge plan. Talk will turn to Claire Newman and Kyle Abbott, and Summer will be peeved with Daniel. If you're suggesting that I'm jealous of Kyle and Claire's relationship, she says to him in the Y&R weekly preview, you're way off base, but is he? Meanwhile, now that Jordan and Ian Ward are out of the way, or so he thinks, Victor will set his sights on a familiar target. He'll tell Michael Baldwin he wants to implement the next phase of his plan. What plan? A confused Michael will ask his boss. To go after Jack Abbott, Victor will reply, via Jabot. However, what does his plan entail? And will Michael be willing to carry it out? Young and the Restless scoop. Last thing she needs is Nate finding out. Finally, Audra will continue chatting with Holden Novak at Crimson Lights. The last thing I need after all this, she'll tell him, is Nate finding out we have history. Unfortunately for Audra, Nate will come along at that exact moment. What's going on here? He'll ask them. But should Audra just come clean with Nate, Or does she have something to hide about her past with Holden? Tracy Abbott is the heart of The Young and the Restless, and her recent blink and you'll miss it appearance left fans wanting more. Sure, chatting about decor with Diane was cute, but let's be honest, we need way more Tracy in Genoa City. It's time for the ultimate romance, or showdown. With her poised charm, sharp wit, and compassionate heart, Tracy has long been the emotional glue of the Abbott family. She's a breath of fresh air in the often cutthroat world of business takeovers and revenge plots. And now, with her romance with Alan taking shape, the time is now to put her back in the spotlight. Give us a Tracy-centric storyline. We love a good soap romance, and Tracy and Alan's budding relationship is the perfect slow-burn story we deserve. But let's spice it up. What if Alan isn't Alan at all? The twin theory is too juicy to ignore. Enter Martin, Alan's long-lost evil brother, and suddenly, Tracy is caught in a dramatic whirlwind of deception and passion. Imagine the suspense as Tracy begins to notice subtle inconsistencies in Alan's behavior. Perhaps he recalls events they've never shared or exhibits mannerisms that don't quite align with the man she thought she knew. As her suspicions grow, Tracy might confide in Ashley, who has her own traumatic history with Martin. Together, they could embark on a quest to uncover the truth, leading to a high-stakes confrontation where Tracy must determine whether her love for Alan can withstand the shocking revelation of his true identity. The crowd was chanting more. Will Tracy uncover the truth in time, or will she find herself in the middle of a heartbreak-filled identity crisis? No matter what, giving Tracy a front-and-center storyline filled with love, betrayal, and high-stakes drama is exactly what Y&R needs right now. Tracy deserves an epic storyline of her own. She's the beating heart of Genoa City, and we need to see her take center stage again. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sally Spectra may say 5 words to Billy Abbott after his secret revenge plot is exposed. Although Billy has assured Sally and others that he's no longer fixated on payback, his actions tell a different story. In Y&R's February 13 episode, Billy slipped out of the bed he was sharing with sleeping Sally and made a hush-hush phone call. It's clear that Billy didn't want Sally to hear the news he was passing along to his mysterious ally, which included updates on Abbott Communications funding and staffing. Billy also ordered a deep dive on Chancellor, so he wants to know everything that's been happening there since Victor Newman snatched the company up and put Nikki Newman in charge. Despite Billy's attempt to convince everyone that he's not going after revenge, it certainly seems like he still wants to retaliate. Billy may not be able to rest until he settles the score, so there are good reasons to worry about his hidden agenda. Phyllis Summers and Daniel Rumalotti wanted Billy's guarantee that he wasn't focused on vengeance anymore. As far as Daniel and Phyllis are concerned, this whole venture needs to be a clean slate. However, Billy remains obsessed with what's going on at Chancellor. And the fact that Abbott Communications is a media company makes it seem like he's targeting Newman Media too. Billy tends to self-sabotage, so this storyline may be setting him up for another downfall. It seems likely Billy's going to crash and burn again, mostly because he's deceiving those closest to him. Jack Abbott only agreed to fund Billy's venture because he was supposedly ready to embrace a fresh start. You can bet Jack's going to be furious once Billy's vengeful goals come to light. That said, it may be Sally who's most disappointed in Billy once she learns what he's up to. Sally is bound to be upset now that Billy's deceived her about his true intentions. Once the real story comes out, Sally may be reminded of all the times Adam Newman lied to her face. It could leave Sally worried that she's signing up for more of the same in this Billy romance. Sally may ultimately say 5 words to Billy once she realizes she's been duped about his actual motives. You lie just like Adam. Could the secrets Billy's keeping cost him his relationship with Sally, or at least cause a major setback? The Young and the Restless spoilers say Billy may have to make some strategy shifts once things blow up, so stick with us for more predictions on all the trouble ahead. Hunter King has had quite the career since leaving daytime behind. She quickly became a Hallmark Channel favorite, and now she's about to embark on an exciting adventure. As reported by our sister site Deadline, not only will she guest star in the Season 7 finale of CBS, The Neighborhood, but the door has been left open for King to become a series regular should the network greenlight a spin-off to the popular series. Crying, screaming, throwing up, King stated, then went on to thank the show's executive producer Aaron Kaplan, as well as CBS, for this amazing opportunity. Justin Long, Kara Royster, and Angelique Cabral have also been given this opportunity and will guest star along with King, who added, "This cast is unbelievable, and I feel so lucky to get to act alongside of them. Ah, someone pinch me." King will play the role of Bellamy, who works generating content for the coolest cannabis boutique in SoCal. Often under the influence of edibles, and despite her jaded outlook, she's hilarious, fun, and a loyal friend. But she has a secret. Though she's content, she dreams of doing bigger and better things in life. A few of King's former castmates jumped into the comments with excitement, including the actress who played her on-screen mom, Michelle Stafford, who shouted, "Yes," as Melissa Ordway and Tracy E. Bregman echoed Stafford's statement. While The Neighborhood follows a white Midwestern family who tries to adjust to life after moving into a predominantly black neighborhood in Pasadena, California, the spin-off will showcase life in reverse. Viewers will watch as Marty and Malcolm Butler leave their parents' home to set out on new adventures. However, as they begin the next chapter of their lives, both will find themselves as newcomers in Venice Beach. Stay tuned for more details surrounding the spinoff, and be sure to tune in to the finale, Welcome to Not Being in It, which airs on March 3,